And good morning. I was trying to figure out what the wind chill was before we hit the button and went live. Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and I do hope your day is treating you well. As we do start out this day, 40 right now, but the wind chill is It's at freezing. 32 right now as you get up and start your day. We're only going to get 50 out of it today is what the high will be, and expect it to be a gradual sunshiny day. It's going to be cloudy for most of the morning hours, and then by afternoon we'll start seeing sunshine peeking through. So sort of a way to plan your day and get things going. On the way, we'll tell you how cold it's going to be this weekend. We'll go through all of that. Rain is not all that far off. We'll tell you where that is. Also, there's a lot going on throughout the community. I just got in a video just a few moments ago of, it was a small car chase that happened yesterday. I got the details on it last night, and I just noticed that in the hours overnight that I did get a video of it, of when the arrest was made. The high sheriff was on it yesterday. We'll share all that probably at 8 o'clock. I haven't had a chance to listen to the video, and sometimes there's language in videos, and I want to make absolutely sure that everything's PG before we throw that up. So we will check that out here in just a little bit. We'll have that coming up later this morning. Also, several things went on in the community yesterday. We had a small, and I say small, minute incident that involved a school bus yesterday. I'm not sure if you read the post yesterday. No one was hurt. I want to put that out there. Very little damage to the school bus also. I don't want anybody to think I'm exaggerating on anything. I just want you to know about it. But no one was hurt. And for whatever reason, I was going to show the picture of it, and I just can't seem to locate that. Now, we'll come up with that in a little bit there and share that also. But I did have a picture at some point. Promise I did. How things disappear in front of you some mornings. That has happened to me once or twice there. So how are you doing? I hope good. We'll tell you more about the incident at Carver that happened yesterday at Carver Middle School. There was a lot of talk about that, and I'll tell you what really went on. Here's back to the school bus thing. I do have that now. It was a fender bender involving the school bus. Let me turn that off there. It was out on Tom Powell Road and Cuba Road. No kids were hurt, and it was just a little fender bender with the school bus. But it does involve a school bus, so I like to let everybody know that those things happened. It was late in the afternoon after 4 o'clock yesterday. So that did go on. All kids were safe, but you should know about it just the same. All right, as we begin this morning, already 6:33 as we head for a great day in front of us. The weekend lies ahead. Church time is coming up on Sunday. It's going to be good. We'll look at radar again in just a moment. Let's talk about some things going across the state of Mississippi. This is what you don't want to have to report on. And let's just go ahead and throw this picture up here. See that? That's a minister in the state of Mississippi that has been charged in a molestation case. It goes back to, let's see here, years ago. He was released in Oxford. 59-year-old Wade Holland was taken into custody on Wednesday and charged with molesting, touching of a child for lustful purposes. This happened back in the late 80s, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, 1988 is when the case happened. Someone is just now reporting it, and they are asking for others to report anything. Now, I don't know that's all we get with those stories there. That's a long time for something to be coming out. May be true, and you have to be presumed innocent until proven guilty on that. We'll see, but a pastor there in the state of Mississippi. We'll watch this story closely. It'll be developing as that comes about and goes to court there, and we'll let you know more about that. And while we're on the church subject, this is like and you've heard of it before, but it happens here in the great state of Mississippi. May have happened in your community before, but someone steals from the church. You've heard of that, haven't you? That's the case this morning as we go to South Haven. Now, that's going to be right by the Mississippi-Tennessee line there by Memphis. Here's the gentleman that has done that as we look at his picture there. He's been arrested and taken into custody, turned himself in. Through the investigation, detectives discovered that 41-year-old Kevin, I believe his name is Hallman, a suspect, again, proven innocent until proven guilty in court for felony embezzlement. It was issued for him. He turned himself in. $150,000 bond was set for that. Don't be stealing from the churches. I think that's a bad deal. I think most are. Embezzlements are never good. We've heard of them of all figures, small to large. And, boy, our state auditor stays out on that on state employees, doesn't he? Shad White. He is really big on this. Had a surprise vote yesterday in the state of Mississippi. Y'all aware of this? The House passed an anti-vaccine mandate bill. What does that really mean? Well, the House unexpectedly yesterday passed legislation that they would prevent private companies from forcing their employees to get a COVID-19 vaccination over what they hold religious objections. So if you've got a religious objection, a company cannot force you to take that in the state of Mississippi. Now, here's the gray area of that. And I know everybody's sitting there thinking about what I just said. If you work for a hospital, which the federal government says that you have got to get one because it's federal law now, and now you have the state going, no company, it's just private companies. I guess that would take that out. I guess that's the loophole there, private company, because hospitals are not private. Okay, talked myself out of that one. I thought I was on to something there for a minute, but no, hospital employees still have to do that. And as Ted Cruz and all those call the Supreme Court, no backbone for not standing up for Americans on that as well. Later this morning, we'll talk about who's supporting the Canadian truckers. Have you seen all of that? There's a big, I guess you'd call it back to 1976, a convoy going across Canada where they are against the shot. It's getting a lot of traction. A lot of trucks are getting involved in it. Let's see, headlines this morning. And this is bad. We all love the state of Mississippi. If you're watching from Alabama, especially if you're on the edge of the line there, you do a lot of business in the state of Mississippi. You travel back and forth, and occasionally we all have a reason to go to the capital city. Well, the capital city, as we have watched every day, there's something bad going on there. Primarily it's somebody that's been killed or shot, hurt at an intersection with, right at this moment that they're saying that the murder rate, get this now, murder rate in Jackson, Mississippi is higher than Atlanta, Georgia. Higher than Atlanta. Okay, you know how many people live there and how many people live in Atlanta? We don't even compare to Atlanta, and we're having more murders. Now, as you get into this, they are starting now to have the buzz of, oh, wow, we got to do something here. Jackson senators are all saying all hands on deck as they try to handle this and do something about it. It is a mess in Jackson, Mississippi. I hope they can do something. There's not a morning that someone wasn't shot at or murdered over there. We had 152 murders last year in the city of Jackson. Now, I haven't gotten the total that have been murdered so far this year, but it is high. You hate to say don't go somewhere, but if you travel to Jackson, Mississippi, be totally aware of where you're going, how long you're going to be there, and don't go alone. Now, does that protect you from getting hurt? No. But know your business while you're in the state of the state capital. Scary over there right now. Be careful. I urge you of that. A lot of uncertainty nationwide, and I haven't talked to Joe out at the Piggly Wiggly, and I need to ask him about this. When are we going to get back to normal? As statewide, there's a lot of shelves that are empty in grocery stores. You've been in and you've seen that. We'll get up with Joe and see that. But many pictures across the state of Mississippi to where they've got bread because we hadn't had any threat of snow. But when it comes to canned goods, meat, it's just not there like it was before all this pandemic thing started 2 years ago. Don't y'all hope this goes away one day? We get back to normal? I still go back to what I say, and I think a lot of people agree with me. We need to build American. We have to have factories. We do. And America's kind of short on that. We can trace that right back to our buddy Bill Clinton, NAFTA. Soon after that was signed, a lot of companies started closing. Well, they couldn't afford to compete. Y'all remember that? Now we're in a mess, and, it can't be shipped in. So what does that tell you? Build it here. And you know what? American workers build it better than anybody else. They do. When they don't have incentives to sit at home and not do anything and be paid to, doesn't add up, does it? Most of you that watch get up every morning, go somewhere to work, or you recently retired from working all your life. Just doesn't seem right for you to have done that all your life for somebody else to sit at home and never work. Free money. We all know, just like your home budget, eventually that runs out. So you're the president of a large company and you just spend millions of dollars to make your company look great. Well, at the end of the day, your company can't afford that. One day you'll start having to lay people off. What will it be this day? Eventually they'll start having to do away with food stamps. They'll have to do away with these programs that hit veterans. People that really need it are out there, don't get me wrong. But what we have seen since this pandemic began is so many people getting things that, well, they overdone it. There for a few months, I do think America needed a little help. But we're past that now. Put our country back on track. And I think a lot of people believe that. And as Rhonda Posey said, buy American. And we want that. The problem is, it's so hard that you can't buy American because it's not made here. Do you realize if we got into a conflict with somebody, we have most of the places that make your medicines are not even made in the United States anymore? So if we had let's just say we had another war and things were cut off, you know how long it would take to build factories to get that to the American people? That's not protecting your people. That's just the way I look at it. I may be wrong. If you disagree with me, tell me that. I'd love to hear your point of that. As Gail McGuire said, thank you for the truckers for bringing your food and clothing, gas, everything else. They do. That trucker gets up, gets behind that seat, and goes. It's pretty tough riding in that rig all across America. People running at you, slamming on brakes, and then you've got these laws and red tape telling you can't do this. You have to pull over every 3 hours. Take a break, walk around. After 8 hours, you can't even drive your truck. We are a country full of red tape to where we simply can't get things done anymore. Y'all know I'm right. If you don't believe me, look around. It makes me shake my head and worry. Of course, there will be a time that I'll pass away and you will too, but what comes after us? What happens here? Your children and grandchildren are going to have to deal with what is going on. It will run out at some point. I know I'm on a soapbox there, but it bothers me some mornings. As we look at this, if you're getting ready to head over to the Vicksburg Military National Park, they're going to be repaving roads in that. Repairs are going to start pretty soon. It's been, I bet, 20 years since I've been there. Always know your history. Get to know what's in the state of Mississippi. If you've never done a Saturday drive down to Windsor, you're going, what is Windsor? Look that up. One of the most magnificent things that was ever in the state of Mississippi. Go down and see the ruins of it. It was beautiful. And there's a hand-sketched picture of what that house used to look like. Alabama, we'll get into this morning there. Alabama, right across the state line. They have an inmate that has been sentenced to death, but a judge has ruled that the inmate can only be put to death by using a certain, and it's never been used in the state, it's in the law, it's a certain drug to put someone to sleep and they never wake up. And what it actually is, it takes the place, it's nitrogen, actually what it is. It takes the place of oxygen and they put it over your face and it would kill you. Lethal injection is the preferred thing. And a lower court judge has ruled that he's got to be done that way, while the rest of the state says, well, we don't really do that. So it's back and forth about the execution. We'll watch all that in the state of Alabama. Needs to be handled. And you get into these things. What did they do? It was a guy on the side of the road. He stops, shoots the guy in the neck, murders him. The guy was minding his own business. Maybe it was a flat tire that the guy had that this guy murdered. He murders him, then goes to a party with blood all over his hands. He's got a tattoo to celebrate that he murdered somebody. He still walks the streets as if nothing ever happened. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think if you do crimes like this, we do have laws that say you're put to death and you should not live amongst society. We put people behind bars that never do that, and then somebody comes along and frees them, and then, well, there's more murder. Do your job. Protect the American people is what I say each and every day. New York should get ready. They're expecting 3 feet of snow this weekend. A storm is coming, so if you're watching from the eastern coastline today, be ready. That's going to be a mess there as we watch this. As we come across and look at some more stories, we have a teen that was arrested in Belhaven, you know where that is, for carjacking. It was 2 of them. Robbed a young lady in front of the Presbyterian church, and then went right down the road and stole somebody's car. 15 years old in the state of Mississippi. So, needs to start early. I know you're under 18, but they need to set examples to where this is not continued there. Alabama makes the news on this, and as we look at this, this is a small town, before I bring this up, 10 miles to the northwest of Birmingham. Population of the town, and y'all follow me on this because this ought to ignite you. It's a town of about 1,300 to 1,500 here. The name of the town is Brookside, just northwest of Birmingham, Alabama. The police department, if they made, say they done something in town and arrested somebody, and you made a comment that you didn't agree with it, well, let's just say that you probably got a ticket within the next 5 to 6 days, maybe a week. The police department was profiling anybody that made a negative remark against the police department on social media, whether it was on Facebook or Twitter. If you talked about them, you were going to get a ticket. The police chief has resigned, and there's a huge investigation into this. That's pretty serious. But can't y'all see that happening? I think we all can. But that was Alabama. Y'all look that up today and Google that. I'll post it before the day is out so you can read the entire story there. But that was a little network going on there. Do other cities do that? Well, y'all know that does. You make somebody mad, you get in trouble for it. We all know that goes on there. Let's see. Y'all remember the kid that was wearing the skirt that raped the girl at the high school? He will not have to register as a sex offender. He's done it twice. Raped a young girl at school in a bathroom wearing a skirt, and he will not have to register as a sex offender. Anybody want to bet money this comes up again somewhere later? Again, I go back to our senators, our people that represent us in the nation, to do your job. Do it. That's all the American people ask, is you to do your job, and I think they should there. Let's see here. That's not anything there that we wanted to talk about there. Let's see here. As we go to a nationwide story here in the Bronx, a rapper shot a police officer. The police were called. He's 16 years old. The police were called to a disturbance. They go there. The guy's got a gun. The 16-year-old does. There's a tussle between him and the police officer. The police officer is shot. And guess what? 9 days later, he's out of jail, walking free, and he shot a police officer. I can go on and on and on with these stories this morning as we wake up and look at what is happening to our country. I'm shocked. I'm scared. It's what I really am. And only you can change these things. How do you do it? It's coming up in November. It's called voting. No matter where you are this morning watching me, and we've got people from all across the United States that watch me each day. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all. But we cannot make change without vote. And the person, and keep a tab on this, because y'all remember back in 15 and 16, y'all remember all this, we're going to change Obamacare. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. They got voted in, and they absolutely done nothing. Y'all remember? They didn't even have a plan. They claimed they had a plan, but they didn't. And it's on both aisles. There's people that are Republicans. There's people that are Democrats that don't do what they say they will do after they get your vote. Keep tabs on that, and every time it comes time to vote, get rid of them. Put somebody in there that actually will do what they say they will do. Donald Trump was the latest craze on that. He actually did a lot of things he said he would do. Y'all remember those days? Back when gas was $1.69. Not everybody liked Donald. I know that. He said a lot of things that was harsh. He made some tweets that he probably shouldn't. But I'll give him this, and I think y'all should too. He was quite the businessman. He knew how to make things and run a country. Did he know how to control social media? No. Did he know when to be hushed? Just, be quiet a little while. No, he didn't do that. He couldn't do it, and he can't do it this day. What would you rather have? Somebody that says they know how to do it, or somebody that actually can, that occasionally pops off? Just a few small thoughts there. All right, let's look at weather this morning. I think that's kind of important too. Let's go over and take a look at radar now and see what's just happening across the nation as we begin this. As we pull up radar, here's what you're looking at for today. Not too bad there. What's this up here near Huntsville? Whoa. That is a sprinkle or two of snow. That's right there in Florence this morning. Believe it or not, that's moving this direction here toward Murfreesboro. Nothing bad, but that is a flur or two. That's just east of Mississippi. I didn't even catch that as I was putting things together this morning. I just saw that. Wow. And we are updated at 6:50. Yeah, the radar is most current there. So as we look across the nation, we got some showers down here off the coast of Florida there, Jacksonville. A little bit of fog down there near Miami, San Antonio. We got some showers moving toward Houston, Texas. If you're going to be driving in that nightmare, keep that in mind. Slick roads. As we go up through New York, more snow. All these areas here through Akron, Ohio. You ever been there? It's a busy little town. Even up to Cleveland. I had to go there once or twice there. So we come across, as we go up here near the northern part of this, Rockford, we look at all this, a little bit of snow there in Indiana, and we come up to these cold portions of the United States there. We're still looking at 9 degrees, -9 there in Marcel, Minnesota. North Dakota, topping in at 10 degrees this morning. And we do have some fog. Believe it or not, there's not showers. Am I looking at that wrong? Seattle is rain-free at the moment. That kind of shocks me. Mississippi looks great. California, nothing bad. That's a quick look at the entire nation as we glance at that this morning. All right, let's turn and get a little bit deeper into the weather so you'll know exactly what's going on today. Hang close. Let's get into this now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Let's go back and take a look at our record highs and our record lows here. What was it? 1957, as we brought up that 57 Chevrolet yesterday. 80 degrees was our high. That was a pretty big one, wasn't it? 80 degrees set on this. Our coldest day, and we've had several days, 1940. I think it was like 5 or 6 degrees yesterday. But today's date, it was 1940 that a record 4 degrees was set. Colder and colder and colder. As we move forward to look at today, here's Alabama. It's going to be sunshine across the great state of Alabama with a high of 59 there. Demopolis 60. We're looking at 50 in Mississippi as we come across that. I've done that again today, putting Alabama in there twice. But we're looking at, we'll break down the forecast here for Mississippi and give you all those details there. But 50 Demopolis. We're looking at 47 there in Tuscaloosa. And we'll come across to Clanton, Alabama. 48 today for that high. Livingston, these areas here will be about 49 degrees. So expect that. A lot of clouds today. It's going to be late in the afternoon before we break that. As we roll forward and look at what's happening over the next 6 to 10 days, here's what the temperatures are going to do. We've got that cold front coming from Texas, making its way through Mississippi again. We're a little cooler in Mississippi than the state of Alabama over the next 10 days. And we've got some warmer temperatures right now. That's going to change, as you saw on radar, that snow that is headed up the eastern seaboard there. It's coming. All right, let's look at our 7-day forecast here of what we've got in store for us as we look at today's forecast. Cloudy through mid-morning, so we're going to call that lunchtime. We're going to have very cloudy sky. Gradually clearing by the afternoon. Don't expect that before 2:30. It's going to be kind of cloudy throughout that. Now, on top of it being 50 degrees today, you can expect a 30-mile-an-hour gust. What does that mean? It means a jacket. Take one. You're going to need it. Tonight, unbearably cold for most of us, and I urge you with all sincerity, take care of your pets and all types of your animals. Make sure they are warm at 22 degrees. You just can't handle temperatures like that. They're just like you. They got feelings. They want to be warm. Take care of them. If you've got a neighbor that needs a little help, check on your neighbors. Water will freeze. This will hurt pipes. Check on as many people, because that's how we get by, is relying on each other. As we wake up tomorrow, we're going to, get to 45 on Saturday over the weekend, down to 29 on Saturday night, but it'll be sunshine. It's going to be a great day for us on Saturday. Just a little nippy, a great day for deer hunting as we bring in the last weekend of deer season in Mississippi. That's what's going to happen. Down to 29 tomorrow night. We return to work on Monday with a high of 61. Why is the temperature going up? You see it there. We've got rain in the forecast. As we get to 63, Monday, 64 on Tuesday. As we come across and look at Wednesday, we're all the way up to 63, but chances of rain each and every day. So we've got that coming. We'll watch all this. As you'll notice there, the nighttime lows are about what we're getting for the highs today. 50 and 48. So not any bad weather, but we could have some thunderstorm activity. We'll be on top of that to make absolutely sure you know everything about it and give you street-by-street coverage to make sure that you're safe where you are. As we look at the temperatures all the way through the 11th, we look at this, mid-50s is what we're going to get through mid-February, and we'll find out with the Groundhog Day. That's coming up, isn't it? Is that February? I forget. I want to say it's like February 2nd. I'll have to do some checking before the next show begins at 8. But that is right around the corner. Groundhog Day. I'll have to watch some Bill Murray, make myself feel better. All right, what's deer hunting today? Let's find out what the greatest times today to hunt is, and it's a midday hunt. From 10 o'clock to about lunchtime, as that morning clouds start breaking, that's the best time to be in the woods. Now, what will the wind do for you if you're hunting today? It's going to be north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 20 by the afternoon. Gust, again, we throw at 30. Rhonda Posey, thank you. It is February the 2nd. Linda, according to you, it also. I am just behind, aren't I? Didn't have all my P's and Q's, but I knew it was somewhere around there. And I even saw to where, this ridiculous, y'all know this, to where the Groundhog Day, they were trying to say the groundhog himself was not politically correct, and they wanted him to start using something else. Punxsutawney Phil. And then we've got, what's his name over in Atlanta, or we used to, Colonel, I forget his name, but not as popular as Punxsutawney Phil. But will the groundhog see his shadow? We'll find out. 6 more weeks or not. I'm betting we get 6 more weeks. Thanks, Wayne Roberts. I appreciate you jumping in there. A big thank you to every one of y'all joining us this morning. We'll keep adding to this morning newscast or discussion. We'll word it that way to give you more each day. We got a lot still to come that we're going to talk about this morning at 8 o'clock. Some cars that were stolen in the Meridian area recovered last night. Yeah. We got that, a whole lot more there. A fire was out in the Bailey community. It was put out. That was good news. A lot of things going on. We even had a fender bender up by Lee's Donuts there, up by the hospitals yesterday. Lots of local things. And as always, I can't do this without y'all. Make sure to send in and let me know where you see things happening, whether it's a fender bender, something bigger. Just send us a note and a picture so we can get investigating and everybody else will know. Thank y'all for dropping by. We're right at 7 o'clock now, 6:57. Can you believe that? And again, 40 degrees outside with a wind chill of 32 with gust of 30, a high of only 50 today. That's how to plan your day. Thank you for dropping by. Thank each and every one of y'all. I'll be back here in just a few minutes, kicking off at 8 o'clock with Candace. Join us. You'll enjoy yourself. I appreciate that. We'll see you soon right here at Scotty Ray's Weather.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by